Welcome to the Green Building Show, where we investigate green design and building trends throughout Australia.
In this series of the Green Building Show, we will shine a light on the sorts of mistakes home renovators are making. We'll speak to a builder, an architect, a real estate agent, a property valuer and 2 sustainability experts to get their opinions on the sorts of mistakes they see renovators making. Our experts will also share their top renovation tips and their top DIY renovation tips. Builders and architects, 2 professions that live and breathe home renovations. These experts are well versed in dealing with all the stress that comes with renovating a home. In this episode, we'll speak to builder Paul Khoury and architect Michael Hilliard. Aside from the actual purchase of your home, a renovation is one of the largest sums of your hard-earned money that you will ever spend in one hit. With that in mind, let's find out what people are doing wrong.
The first mistake people make when they set about doing a renovation is that they haven't really thought about exactly what it is that they want to do. Often people come to you and they have a vague idea of what it is that they want to do, but they haven't really considered the finer detail of what's involved. I mean, generally people are not very informed about the process and how it works. I mean, in terms of council approvals, the cost of a renovation. People often underestimate the expense because a renovation in some respects can be more expensive per square metre than building a new building because there's more involved. There's, there's demolition and there's repair work of an existing structure and things like that.
For Paul, fixing any underlying water issues is key. He says not dealing with them upfront can become an expensive mistake.
We see a lot of places that have water issues, rising damp, roof leaks, bathroom leaks. So these are where a big concern is where water can cause a lot of damage. Sometimes the water could be leaking from one area and tracking through the ceiling space and dripping 3-4 metres away, and then to try and sort out where that leaks come from can be costly sometimes when you start ripping off sheeting and roof sheets and tiles to get down to the point exactly of entry of that water. So water issues is a huge problem with renovations, and you see a lot of that where a lot of people try and do all that sort of stuff themselves instead of getting a professional in to do the proper methods to get that in place.
A reoccurring issue that Michael has noticed is people having little awareness of all the tasks that renovating a home entails.
The biggest mistake people make is not being prepared for what it is that they're undertaking. And in that I mean they haven't thought carefully about what it is that they want. They haven't approached got the right professional advice about what they can and can't do. And invariably there is an issue with the budget. People's expectations of what you can do with $250,000 just has to be seen or heard to be believed. I mean, you are not going to build another floor in a house, an extension out the back, a swimming pool and a 4-car garage for $250,000.
Knowing your budget and what you can do with that amount of money is an issue both our expert builder and architect raised.
In fact, budget can be one of the worst mistakes because people might have some money to spend, but they think they can get much more for it. And if they try and do that, that's when you end up with really, really bad renovations because everything's being done to the bottom line, so to speak. And of course, money's expensive, and I guess there's an attitude that architects go around just throwing clients' money here and there. But it's sometimes better to do less, to build less, and do it better. Spend your money more wisely, in other words.
I think sometimes you can spend money in the wrong areas in your renovation. I think probably the most important parts, in my opinion, would be kitchens, bathrooms, and an open plan living. Sometimes people spend it on, they might overcapitalise in their kitchen for the area. Depending on the area and your clientele you're targeting, I think you really got to keep that in mind and have a strategy in place for your finishes to be targeted to those people, to those sort of clientele. And that's where sometimes people can get out of hand and just go a bit crazy with their spending, and they see all this crazy stuff on TV and they want to do it, but then they might not be in the right area to do that sort of thing. So you've got to really do some research first and make sure that you know who your clientele is, and then you come up with a strategy and a plan to deliver the job according to that clientele.
Renovating your home can feel like an exercise in watching your bank balance hemorrhage, so it's important that you spend your money in the right areas.
Another big mistake would be the over-capitalising on certain things. That's, I think, when you're renovating, I think the idea is, if you're going to renovate to sell, the idea is to bring it up to scratch, make it look very presentable and for as cheap as possible, but not taking any shortcuts, and spend it in the right areas, like, again, open plan, kitchen, bathroom, somewhere where people like to, have a look and talk about. It's a talking point, something that's going to have a difference as well.
As society has become more environmentally aware, the desire for a sustainably built home has become more popular. People undergoing renovations in modern Australia need to be aware of the sustainable choices they can make when building.
It's not just the cost of the actual getting the thing built. I mean, it doesn't just end there, because there's ongoing things. So, for instance, if your renovation can halve the cost, the energy consumption and the water consumption of your property, then that's going to pay over the years. I mean, okay, in 10 years' time, it won't have paid for the renovation for sure, but it would have saved you thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're doing a good thing as well.
Next week, we'll be speaking to two sustainability experts about the mistakes they see people making and what sort of sustainable options are available for renovating our homes.